What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Appreciate you for being back. Of course, I'm Prince Donnell, founder of Jack Life Insurance and Jack Life Leads Community. I'm a licensed agent across the country, all 50 states. And my goal is to be able to have conversations like these with other successful insurance agents and agency owners to be able to provide you as an agent with the value necessary so that you have the ability to protect more families, run a better agency, recruit more people, and have a great system for yourself so you can become successful as an agent. I think that this is one of the best industries to be in, but a lot of times we don't have the proper information, may not have the proper uplines, or we don't have the proper company that we're associated with, or it could really just be us. And I want to be able to highlight individuals that I've been connected to that can share their stories, and hopefully it connects with you and makes you realize that it's possible for you too. With that being said, I have the pleasure of being able to introduce a woman today who I actually met, I want to say maybe two months ago. And I remember the call like it was yesterday. My sister Cassandra called me over. She had just got started and joined our community. She's with Primerica, and I remember her story and everything associated. And she was like, "Hey, look," and here's what she said to me before she moved forward. She said, "Don, I'm going to become the next success story with the community that you built, and I really believe that I have the skill sets necessary in order to win. And you just watch. I'm going to be on this presentation like the other people who are here too." And I said, "Hey, a lot of people said that to me." I said, "So we'll see." But the beautiful thing is that she's on the road to doing that. Not only has she protected a number of families in the past 60 days, but she's proven that she has the skill sets and she's tapped in. She's dedicated. She has the commitment necessary. This is a perfect agent to listen to. And on top of that, she's a woman in the financial services industry when women are probably like 1 to 3% in this industry alone. So this is really big to have this type of conversation. And without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Shannon Felton to the line. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you here. I want to jump right into it to start providing value to all the agents. I'd like to start off by asking a little bit about your background. So, of course, I've been licensed for 10 years. I started out at TD Bank, and then I went to Wells Fargo, and then I started my own agency, and I'm licensed across the country. I've sold a ton of policies, and part of the reason why I got into this industry was because I grew up in the inner city communities, and as you know, we're very underserved in those communities when it comes to life insurance and the education around it and generational wealth. So I would love for you to be able to share, why did you make that transition into getting your insurance license? What was that why that drew you over? And how does that why help you to create the success that you currently have today?
Well, Don, I grew up in the inner city too. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. So I saw a lot of deaths. I grew up around Crips and Bloods. I saw gangs, people dying, people selling drugs. And I remember asking my mom when I was young, what do I have to do to become successful? She said, go to school, get a good job with great benefits. And I'm like, I see people do that, but they don't have the lifestyle that I want. But my parents didn't send me to college. Right? I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, but I did it anyway because my parents did not go to college. So that's how I ended up in the DMV area. I went to Howard University. And then I ended up landing a government contracting job. I hated it. I hated it, making 6 figures. I'm like, this is not what I want. And I interviewed one of the managers, and she said it took her 20 years to get to 150,000. I was like, oh no, this is not it. So at the time, the father of my kids, he was prospected into a financial services company. And I remember him calling me, and he had all these big dreams, and I was negative. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, millionaire, because I didn't know any millionaires. It was like basketball players, athletes, actors, actresses. So I did not know any millionaires. So when he said this, it was foreign. So I was very negative about it. But just like a child, he was a child to me. I didn't want to poop on his dreams. Like when your child says something, you don't want to poop on them, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. So we went to this meeting, and it opened up my eyes. Right? They started speaking about life insurance. And I'm like, I've seen people die. I've seen the fish fries. I've seen the barbecues. I've seen, going to the pastor begging for money. And I'm like, man, why didn't anyone teach my grandparents this or my aunts and uncles this? So I was like, this is a mission. And unfortunately, at the beginning of my career, my mom actually passed away. And that was the first death claim that I delivered in the industry. And after that, I'm like, man, my mom was 65. she knew nothing about insurance. She was the oldest out of 11 kids. So I'm like, if my mom doesn't know, her siblings don't know either, right? So that's what got me on the fast track, got my license, hired and trained other licensed agents in the brokerage, and I'm in it. I have a passion for this because this is how we're going to help close the racial wealth gap, is the foundation, which is life insurance.
Man, that's a very powerful story. And I would assume that you would say that why alone is a big contributor to the success that you currently have now in this industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you're an agent listening to this, you need to have a why, right? And it needs to be very strong. If you heard hers, it's clear, right? There's a deep connection associated with her in this industry, and it's why she does what she does. You heard a small piece of her why being associated to money. And make no mistake, I believe the money is important. We earn based off of us being able to protect families. But her why was 90% associated to a deeper connection in her spirit for her wanting to actually assist and help those in her community. And if you don't have that and it's only associated to finances, then I don't know how far you're actually going to get. So that connection is strong. You want to make sure you have that written down. And with that, I want to ask another question, Shannon. Is I asked this question around skill sets to almost every agent that I talk to, because I think that sometimes agents come into this industry and they're like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and buy leads, or I'm going to work my warm market, or I'm going to do referrals, and I'm just going to become successful immediately through doing this. But what I found is that many agents got licensed and had to have the ability to offer life insurance, but they may not know how to sell it, or they may not have the skills on how to actually run a business, different things of that nature, to act, like all the things that are really associated with becoming successful, right? People talk about, hey, I do $250,000 in this industry, but they don't talk about what was the background and all the things you had to do to get there, the skills, the maturity. So could you share with us, what do you find to be one or two of these skill sets that like an agent needs to possess in order to begin closing deals, earning more commission, protecting a lot more families?
I think the first thing is, if you have to unlearn and relearn. We come into the industry using the same skill set as working a job. No, that's not it, right? I failed a lot. I failed forward in the beginning, but I got around the right environment and I learned. I had to learn all over again. And consistency. I had to learn a skill set of closing. I had to read books. I had to learn people. I had to learn different personalities, because I would come and I would have that South Central Los Angeles mentality, and that doesn't work, right? You have to have a skill set. You have to be professional, yet become yourself. But I think the environment is very important. You have to unlearn and relearn what it is to close. What is sales? Learn a different personality. What is their why? Why do they want to get protected? It's different, right? So I think there's a lot to come with unlearning and relearning the industry. Like you're in school, you have to be a student of this industry. You have to be a sponge.
I love it. One of the quotes that I say is that learners are earners.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, Shannon, I've spoken to, I'm going to say, maybe over 1,000 agents thus far in the past 4 or 5 months. And I found that that 10 to 20% of agents that I hear on the line that are interested in coming into our community, I can always tell when they're going to have a really, bad experience or a hard time inside of our program. And I found that it's because when they're on the line, they say, well, I don't need to learn how to sell. I already know how to sell. I don't need sales skills. I already have a sales skill. I don't need training on handling the. I already have that. And if you're an agent listening to this, you're talking to someone, and how long you've been in this industry, Shannon?
Over
so
10
far?
years.
Over 10 years. You're talking to someone who just said that she's still learning every single day, even though she's been in the industry for 10 years. So for someone who does not have 10 years of experience and just came into the industry, or haven't been here that long, if you say that you're not interested in learning something new, that could be a large reason why you're not seeing the success in life, right? She said you have to unlearn and relearn new concepts, and you got to do that daily, right? She didn't say one time, that you have to constantly be doing that in order to see the success that you want. So I love that, Shannon. I thought that was extremely a valuable point to make. for agents. And I want to shift topics here to I have like 2 or 3 here going fast so we can make this impactful. When talking to a lot of agents, one of the things that I found, Shannon, is that there's a divide between the marketplace when it comes to agents who are like, hey, I don't buy leads. I work my warm market and I work my referral base, which I know a lot of agents who are extremely successful in doing so. And then you have another half of agents who are like, I don't do really warm market or referrals. I only buy leads, because to me, buying leads is like a form of advertisement. It allows me to speed up my process. So they have that thought process associated. And with that, there's a divide in the 50-50. Since you have had the ability to do both, and you've been trained on both in the structuring of that, now, what would you say is, what would be your advice to an agent when it comes to how to navigate the warm market versus referral market and the actual lead side of things? Which one do you think is more valuable, or which way, how would you structure that for somebody that's listening to this and trying to figure out what they should take?
Here's the thing, Don. I did the warm market, right? I would not have been able to get my mother protected if I didn't. I don't regret that. However, in the same sense, I had more credibility with my warm market than most people do, right? When I've brought people into the industry, they come in and they attempt to speak with their family and friends, and they see them as one way that's very negative, and they can't get past what they've known about that person, right? You know what I mean by that? Like, so say if they, they got into trouble when they were younger, or, they did things they maybe should not have done. And now they're trying to do a 180 and do something different. They can't unsee that. So for them to protect and create generational wealth with my nephew or my sister or whoever, they're like, no, right? So I've been the one who's had credibility, right? So I wouldn't say that it's the bad thing. However, I think for someone who is turning over a new leaf like myself right now, later on in my career, I think Jack Life leads are the way to go. Like I've interviewed a number of agents within this community, and I've asked them about leads because I've never done it. This is my first time, and my experience is amazing. I'm having success. And they've told me, I've done it. They've been cold. They're not exclusive. They're not real time. And I'm like, I hit the jackpot, right? And I've prayed for something to revive my business. And by the grace of God, I was able to see the ad, click on that button, sit with Cassandra, and now, I think it's a little over maybe 30 days or so, 35, 40 days. I've had a great experience. So I would tell anyone, you don't know what you're missing until you've tried it, right? And I had never done it. And my experience has been amazing. And I, coming out of a slump in my own business, it's revived my business, literally. It's literally resuscitated me, giving me that motivation. So I'm excited about it. So I would say try it. Jack Life.
I think I love the plug. That's amazing. Yeah. I think you brought up, aside from that, you brought up something really valuable I haven't thought about. You brought up the fact that your warm market worked for you because of credibility. And because of that credibility, you were able to work that market and get referrals. But you said that sometimes you could be going into this industry of insurance and testing that warm market, and it doesn't work because your credibility was lost prior to even introducing the opportunity to someone. So if you're an agent, I really think that you should sit down and say to yourself, is my credibility lost? Like, have I done things in the past that people would judge me for, family, friends, that will cause them to not want to do business with me? Or do I have family and friends that are extremely negative, and because of that, my credibility is still not lost because they don't even got any credibility, right? So with that, I think that work that you got to do in the beginning of understanding which market is best for you, I think that's important. Because if you heard what Shannon said, she started that warm market route because of credibility, but then she, again, because of unlearning and relearning, decided to transition over into now moving into the actual, buying of leads. But still, with the skill set that she has around warm market and referrals, she's now able to still, even with producing leads and through buying leads, and she's now able to take those individuals and now nurture them into more of a warmer market further and get referrals from those clients and even turn them into potential agents and things of that and bring them into the industry. So I think that now, Shannon, you having both of those skill sets of knowing how to work actual leads themselves and being able to work more market just makes for a beautiful way to be able to merge. And I think that speaks to that skill set again, like you said, of unlearning and relearning, so that you have the ability to know how to utilize those skill sets in the right manner.
Mm-hmm. You got to humble yourself in this industry. You have to be willing to learn different things. And even with the warm market, that does run out. You only have so many family members. You only have so many friends, right? So I think that runs out. So if you can do both, or if you can't do the warm market, I think, purchasing leads is the way to go. I think it's the way to go.
I have one final question for you, Shannon, because you brought something up about you being in a slump in your insurance practice. And I would say not only myself, I've experienced this at a really high level where I had charged back so high that I'm like, man, it's eating up all the revenue that I produce, commission that I produced this week, where I'm pretty much breaking even on chargebacks. I've had those moments, right, where it was that hard, and I'm still at the same time like pushing forward and investing into my insurance business, even with breaking even at times. So I've gone through those slumps too, to get to this point to where I'm at today. And I would love for you to be able to share a little bit about the mindset that one needs to have when they're in that slump to be able to transition out. Because I find it interesting that you were in a slump, but you were still looking for something. And even in looking for something, you still decided to move forward and even, join Jack Life Leads and run it and start and buying leads and things of that nature, even though you were like, I'm still in a slump and I'm trying to figure it out. So tell me, what mindset does one have to have? Because that's not a normal thing that one would do. Normally when one is in a slump, they're normally trying to slow down. It sounds to me that you were speeding up. So what is that mindset that you possess to get there?
You got to have no quit, man. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I have that Mamba mentality, and I was down, and I literally will watch a lot of his videos. You know what I mean? And then having that strong why. And here's the thing, Don, I went to a lot of different companies, and I even spoke with different agencies, and none of them, probably about 4 or 5, maybe even 6, because I thought about the industry, and I was like, well, maybe I need to go to another company because I had, some things going on personal. So I wanted a whole new environment. And then I was on social media, and I follow you and your amazing wife all the time. I listen to you guys' videos. You came up and he was like, if you aren't making this, that, and the other, agents click here. And I was like, let me see. Right. I was like, what do I have to lose at this point? Because I'm telling you, I was done. I was looking for a way to get better in the industry. I was looking for a way to get in another environment, just to have that. It's like going to another team, right? It's like when LeBron left Cleveland and came to LA, right? It's like that type of thing. Maybe it's the environment, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's me, right? So I had no quit, but I just needed a little spark to catch on to so I can continue, where I left off from that adversity. And this was it. I was like, man, thank God I didn't quit. Thank God I didn't wait and try to find a solution to get it back going. But I just had no quit in me. I was like, I need something just to give me that passion back again, because I know what it is to do this industry. I've delivered 6 death claims. 3 of them have been family members, right? So I understand what it is. I just needed to get in an environment to learn again, relearn this way, right? And now I'm like a rookie. Right? I'm going for Rookie of the Year. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. Nobody knows me. I'm like at the bottom. I'm looking at Kendall. I'm looking at Shaquille. I'm looking at all these different people killing it. And I'm excited. I have something to chase, right? I like chasing the best. I like being the best, right? I like being the underdog and figuring it out and being competitive and just sitting back, watching, learning. That's where I'm at. So you just got to have that no quit and know your why. I write down my why every day. I have it everywhere, right? So that's one of the things that helped me. Now I'm in this environment, an amazing environment that's helped me continue on with that path and just learning something different, purchasing leads and learning the one call close and things like that. So I'm excited. I'm a student of this game. I'm a sponge and I'm just learning all over again.
I love it. I really, if you're an agent, I really hope that you were able to take notes down here and really not just listening to her words, but the qualities, right? I find that qualities and skill sets are more valuable than words, right? People can say a lot of things, right? We know that. They can sell you on dreams, but the person who has the qualities and the skill sets are the individuals that you should look at. Look at what is their mentality like? What is their spirit like? When times get tough, what do they do? And from there, you want to pull those type of qualities out because you can duplicate that. One thing that I always say to end this out is that everybody is not blessed to be the most talented person in the world, right? Like we bring up LeBron James, for example. Everybody's not blessed to be 6'9", 6'10", being able to run as fast as he does, having that type of body structure, being one of the strongest guys on the court. So if you're not structured talent-wise like a LeBron or AKA as an agent to where you have the gift of gab, you can storytell, you can connect with people on an internal level. If you don't have that type of talent, hey, the thing is, I'm going to tell you something really awesome. Talent is not scalable, okay? You can't duplicate talent, but you know what you can duplicate? Qualities and skill sets. So if you see the qualities and skill sets that a person has, then you can now take those and say, even if I'm not the most talented agent in the world, if I take these qualities and skill sets and everything that Shannon just explained to me, and I were to add that to myself, and I give myself a year to 3 years to really knock this thing out, I'm going to be able to win. And if I remain a student, I'm going to go far. So with that, Shannon, thank you so much. This was extremely valuable. I think agents are going to be truly impacted from this, and I just want to let you know I'm extremely proud to be working with you and to see 2 months ago where you were up until today. And to me, I like to get things a year, right? This is only 2 months. I really want to be able to replay this again 1 year from now and have this same exact conversation and watch you all see the difference, because people like her who are students, you only see those individuals getting better and better in time. And that's the beauty of time and why I love it. And it's our greatest asset in the world. So Shannon, thank you so much. I look forward to continuing to work with you. And if you guys want to follow her on her story, click below. You'll be able to see her Instagram or her social media handles. Give her a follow. And also, if you're interested in the Jack Life Leads community, a link will be below as well. You can set up a call with one of our team members to be able to assist. Shannon, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to being a superstar that you are, protecting more families and crushing it.
That's right. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Absolutely. Peace.